Get Your Gun America. I'm Zach Nanimus.
I'm Johnny Dim.
Hi, I'm Robb Zipp.
And you have entered the WarPod, the official podcast of the Warlocks Entertainment System, your one-stop shop for nerd news in the Houston area and the world. We're here with our good friend Robb Zipp. It's been a chunk of change since the last time you were on the show with us. I believe the last you were doing a really insensitive Floridian character.
Floridian?
Yeah, yes. I think your name was like Monskew or something.
I don't remember the name, but I just remember your quote because I actually I highlighted it and I actually have it somewhere. I think it's in one of our.
I was probably drinking.
Yeah, maybe. I just remember your quote was, "I don't give a flying LSU Tiger." Was your quote from that episode? Because you didn't say much otherwise.
I forgot that.
I do not remember any of this at all.
That one actually is a part of our clip show. I'm going to change it soon because it's kind of dated. Mm-hmm. But the clip show that plays at the top of our profile on YouTube.
I don't give a flying LSU Tiger.
Yeah.
With an accent?
Yeah. You were accenting it up big time. And the reason was because at the time, this was during the period where you were like, I swear off social media.
Yeah.
So you didn't want to be Robb Zipp on our show.
Okay.
So you came up with this character.
It was topical because it was right after Katrina. That's why you chose to do that.
Smart move.
That was a while ago.
Either way, so how this all started with Robb Zipp being on the show is Johnny told me, hey, Robb Zipp's going to be on the show. This was like 3 weeks ago. I asked 0 questions. Johnny, what are we doing here?
We're doing a regular episode of the WarPod.
Just with
a special guest, Robb Zipp.
Okay, so nothing special to announce or.
Well, we're going to talk about his stuff a little bit. We want to highlight what he's doing.
Well, why don't we start with that? Robb Zipp, what is it you do?
Well, I am trying to make a heavy metal travel show.
Yeah, heavy metal travel
show. Yeah, I've gone to Iceland already. Oh, what are you doing?
I got it.
You're grooming me?
We got it.
No. There's a film term, and I should know. It's like called final touches or touch up or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I went to Iceland in January to do some test shooting to kind of get an idea of. It's been a long time since I've done any video production stuff. So like I'm looking at your studio here and I see your setup. So I have some similar equipment and I know you guys do some things a little bit differently. I don't necessarily want to do a live YouTube show again.
Yeah.
We shoot inside a garage sale. I want people to be able to see what it looks like.
I've showed it off on YouTube before.
You have?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll do it again just so people can see it. Because I think the last time I showed it off was on Instagram. But yeah, we'll do it for the YouTube audience. The stuff we've got, it's pretty. We try to go as cheap as we can with a lot of it.
It's not just that. It's just the boxes and boxes of comic books, the dead computers, the clothing. Here, in case
the wires all over the floor.
We're not gonna have time to edit it in right now. Maybe later. The skeins of yarn.
Oh yeah, there's also that Batman toy that I unboxed. I haven't moved it since. But anyway,
so the goal of this is to show the world of heavy metal, like a positive side. Mm-hmm. Go to places that people just dream of going to and do, and places you wouldn't expect. Eventually, I would like to go to some random, what some people might call shithole countries.
Mm-hmm. Some people.
Care to drop any names?
Not me. I'm saying some people. That
like
you wouldn't think.
Delaware.
Yeah, sure. Delaware. And showcase how metal has come to their country and what it has done to...
In a positive light.
In a positive light, exactly. Yeah. So I'm not going to go to Norway and hang out with Varg.
Right.
Not going to do that. But I am going to Germany in less than 2 weeks.
That's a good place for metal, from what I hear.
I am going to the largest metal festival in the world, Wacken Open Air.
Yes, I'm not super familiar, but I definitely have heard of it. And I actually was listening to your show. You got a question?
No.
Oh.
I think that at some point you should go to a place that has a tribe of people that have never heard heavy metal
And play it for
and
them.
play heavy metal for them.
No,
And
I don't
see
think
if-
that's a good idea.
See if it completely deconstructs their society.
Yeah, see, exactly. That's not.
You can use metal music as a weapon. This has actually been done. The U.S. Army has done it.
Yeah.
They do
Yeah.
do that. They do use
Yeah.
it for psychological warfare sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's usually bad stuff. I mean,
I know one of the CDs they used because
So there's
I had a copy of it. It was an Ozfest CD.
there's some things you have to progress into, and with metal, there's been a progression.
Yeah.
And there is more extreme stuff. You can't just jump right
Right.
into the deep end.
Right.
I mean, you can.
Yeah.
Um,
No, yeah, absolutely, and there's different. You gotta be in the mood for it too. I think I wouldn't always want to listen to Game and Board Gear all the time.
sure.
Quick elevator pitch. You get in touch with these heavy metal bands you're gonna go see. Quick interview, and then you film their performance while they're doing the heavy metal challenge. They'll be doing their show while you have chained lead and gold to them because they're heavy metals.
Man, I thought you were going somewhere else.
Yeah.
I thought you were going somewhere else with that.
No, nope, that's not happening.
I think you had them working a forge while they're playing music.
No, they've got to do an 18-hour shift and then do their show.
That's
So-
the heavy metal challenge.
So one thing I've learned with these bigger events is that unless you are already a big shot yourself, I'm going to Wacken Open Air. I have tickets already, but I was turned down for press credentials because
Sure.
I didn't have the proper accreditations
Right.
to them.
Right.
I'm not Oprah,
Right.
or whatever.
Right. The
So-
Oprah of the metal world.
Right,
Yeah, yeah.
right. So I'm going
Is
to
that right, the
go.
Oprah of the metal world?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm gonna go and do it, guerrilla style, vlog style.
Yeah, that's the
whatever.
way to do it.
And I know some of the bands that are actually, I know some people in some of the bands that are actually playing, so I can talk to them for sure. There's still a chance. There's an outside chance I still may be able to sneak through the back door.
Sure.
I'm sorry, what are you going to do to these people?
I might sneak through that back door.
Okay. That's what metal's all about?
Well,
Some people in metal are for sure.
Hold on. I don't know
get consent first.
I don't know if
Well,
I've
yeah,
got-
absolutely.
Yeah,
Everything's
yeah,
about
yeah, yeah,
consent.
I don't know if I've gotten a chance to share this before on the show, but I'll admit I'm not a metal guy. And Johnny, this was like 4 years ago. We were no, maybe more like 2. We were watching like this DVD that Jonesy brought over, and I think it was Cradle of Filth or Puddle of Mud.
Definitely wasn't Jonesy. If it was Cradle of Filth,
Either way,
well, it was probably Nevermore, and it probably was my DVD.
possibly.
That's my
but,
guess.
Yeah, but you guys were watching it, and there were people like jumping around screaming in Junko jeans and stuff like that.
Jinko, yeah.
But my favorite thing was that they had a behind the scenes and the dudes were doing their makeup. And it was my favorite thing.
That was probably my
Yeah.
DVD.
And like one of them he had like a Slurpee straw and he had drawn in some of the fake blood so that he could gently mist one of the other guys.
That was
with it.
Mudvayne. That was a Mudvayne DVD.
It was the
that was
cutest
the
thing.
live in Peoria DVD that I own. I own all of their live DVDs.
If there's any single piece of imagery that can break the illusion, it's right there. The Mudvayne boys getting purdied up for their big metal show.
Well, that's the thing. It's a show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I mean. You can get up there and just play some music, and sometimes the music can stand on its own. But a lot of the times, you have to have a show. Like Kiss, their music sucks, but their shows are.
It's all about theatrics.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
actually like Kiss. I like
Well,
the music.
Sure, well, whatever.
What I was gonna say was so I brought up Jimmy Board Gear a second ago. I went and saw them. I've seen them twice, and one of the times I saw them, the second time, the dude came out in no makeup. The lead singer was no makeup at all, and it was just he was in a trench coat, and that was his get up, and that was very disappointing because because their whole thing is the graveyard makeup and all that stuff.
Yeah, the corpse.
Yeah, whatever it's called. Yeah. But anyway, that's really cool. So where can people find your show? Because you have a couple shows going right now, right? Like the Robb Zipp show.
So yeah, I do a podcast called the Robb Zipp Show, which I should have just recorded the audio from this and just used that. But
yeah, we'll give it to you.
I could always
What are you talking about? Record the audio from what?
Oh, he was saying record us simultaneously while we're recording it.
Oh,
for his show.
Yeah, but so the Robb Zipp Show it's just me having a conversation with people.
Oftentimes, I started listening to it, so it's like a lot of the times you get people from bands and stuff to do it.
Yeah, just because I tend to have been running in those circles a lot lately with the stuff I'm doing with the Most Epic Adventures, which is on Facebook. There's a Facebook page. You can get to it. You can look up the Most Epic Adventures, or you can go to the mostepicadventures.com and it'll lead you there. My YouTube, I finally got 100 subscribers.
There you go.
all right.
It's a milestone.
Congrats.
I have a secret I'm not going to say on here, but you can go to youtube.com/c/Robb Zipp. You see my name right there.
Yeah.
Or you can go to themostmetal.com. That's my company, The Most Metal Productions. It's the name of my company. So there's some videos on there that aren't concerning the Most Epic Adventures. I went to a sausage festival, like a literal sausage festival.
Yeah,
That's cool.
That sounds great.
Yeah, the guy asked me to be the video sponsor, so I was like, okay, and I just shot some video, slapped it together. I'm not good at editing.
That would be...
So if you are a video editor and you want to edit a possible broadcast travel show, please contact me.
Zach loves
to edit.
I don't feel like you're sincere.
Okay, I don't like to edit on my computer because it's a laptop, and so it can't support any good editors.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the crux of the problem. Do you have a theme song?
No.
Good, I just wrote one for you. Just now. Not even joking.
Okay.
Robb Zipp! Robb Zipp! Robb Zipp!
And now, I'm going to give you the audio from this show. You got it. Like, all you got to do is cut it out, and then that's your theme song.
So, you're welcome.
Yeah. And if you don't use it, he's going to get really upset.
Oh, I will raise an incel army on Twitter.
It's a callback.
Can you do it again?
Sure.
Oh boy. Live recording.
All right.
Wait, I'm calibrating the audio engine.
All right.
Okay, fair.
Robb Zipp! Robb Zipp! Robb Zipp!
Beautiful.
Got it.
Nailed it.
That's actually worse than the first one.
But you'll have both. All
right. So now, on with the show. Talked a little bit about Robb Zipp. Now we're here to get the Robb Zipp spin on what we normally do, and that's a laundry list of topics from the Johnny Boy.
It's a bunch of bullshit that comes out of my mouth.
Oh, Johnny Boy,
all right.
the bus are called.
Oh God, what's going on? So many noises.
Two of us now.
I'm gonna let you guys choose, or I'll let Rob choose.
All right.
We can talk about HBO Max, Switch Lite, Sub-Zero of the new Mortal Kombat movie has been cast, dad bod Jason Momoa, or Scarlett Johansson. That's actually a tricky topic. We may not even try to tackle.
Man, that's definitely what I'm going to choose if the board is ever mine.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on with any of this stuff.
Some of it, once you'll have an opinion about.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
This is all breaking news to me. I know a little bit about the Jason Momoa thing.
Yeah.
And we did talk about it in the what is it called? The pre-show?
Yeah,
the
early bird special.
Early bird special.
It won't be a long topic because I think we're all going to be pretty united on the reaction.
All right, sure.
Let's tackle it real quick. Get it out of the way.
All right.
So what happened was people were getting on to Jason Momoa about this particular picture that's behind me.
He should be deported.
Right.
That's my hot take.
That's your hot take.
And we all agree, right?
Deported to where?
Mimosa? The island of Mimosa?
Here, I'm actually going to do this real quick so they can see the picture better. Where's the button? Zach, what'd you do with the button?
I don't know. Did you not label these usefully?
No, I did.
Okay.
There you go.
Alright, so that's the Jason Momoa button.
Oh yeah, so it's the Johnny Dem body.
Well, no.
And that's
That's
I'm
Robb Zipp.
DiCaprio.
Actually, Rob, you may have won this one because I think you're the richest one.
Yeah.
That's Leonardo DiCaprio, where Robb Zipp's name is. Jason Momoa in the middle, that's my name, and then Zach Nanimus above his is Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Now, part of the reason I put these other people up here is because someone else tried to do the same thing with, I guess, with the argument that his body is fine. Is that look at all these other celebrities? This is what they do when they're not actually training for a particular role or that kind of thing. They're just normal people with normal bodies. So that's the whole thing. I think most of the reaction from this is that people are dumb and his body's fine.
Can you give me an example of people? I think you said giving him shit.
I can look for it.
Okay, because and while I'll give a little bit of commentary. I'm kind of okay. I'm not super surprised that this is happening, but I'm kind of surprised this is happening because there's this whole wave of hey, no fat shaming,
right?
Unless it's Jason Momoa, and then let's actively fat shame someone who is almost certainly in better condition than the person who is calling them out on it.
Right.
But I don't know. Is there a double standard?
We have a very important Jason Momoa beard update. He's growing it back.
Oh yeah.
View story.
Hold on.
Why would anyone give a?
Yeah, the obsession with celebrities is a problem, I think.
Well, I mean, we've always I think that we may be at a time when it may be at its best because there is plenty of criticism. It used to be just blind hero worship, in a lot of ways. Now the problem is that everyone's a pundit now, and so everybody puts out these opinions, and then somebody reads it online, and they're like, "People are saying." Well, no, people aren't saying. One weirdo's saying.
Yeah. So it looked like it was a commentary. There we go.
Oh, so it was a straight up an article.
There was an article that references the article wasn't talking bad about it.
Okay.
The article's talking about the people. So it says rabid fan base riled up Wednesday after vacation photos of the Aquaman, Game of Thrones, blah blah blah. The actor who has gained much of his recent fame for playing. After Us Magazine shared the photos of their Facebook page, some of the comments included things like LMAO. Laugh my ass off. He went from Aquaman to dad bod faster than Thanos snap. And his middle looking
that
at
right there.
Yeah.
I don't think that that's a problem.
Okay.
I don't. It's a person making a joke. We should be able to joke about one another's bodies.
Sure. But not everybody takes it like that. Like people can be sensitive about things, about their bodies.
Oh well. Seriously, oh well.
Well, I hope you don't fat shame me. Jesus.
Shame! Somebody fat shamed me.
Your shirt says fit.
It really does.
Yeah. Hold on, I gotta get this back on the screen.
Here, hey Robb Zipp, real quick, fat shame me.
No, it's a trap.
Do it.
No.
Please? Pretty please?
You want me to do it? I'll do it.
Yeah.
You're a big fat fatty.
Okay.
Flash forward for 3 hours. Zach's at home.
Just sawing. Why am I sawing?
It's what you could find. It's actually not a saw. It's just a
nail file.
It's a nail file.
We're talking about that because my nails are messed up right now.
Or cheese grater.
Actually, I kind of want to add that later. I'll do it. Okay, so.
It's not real news, but
so it was a clapback. So Jason Momoa gave him a clapback. It's like, I'm not fat. David Duchovny or whatever. John Leguizamo, Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm not fat. Leonardo DiCaprio's fat.
Well, he did not do that. Someone else did that on Twitter.
Okay.
In defense of Momoa, saying basically these bodies are just normal. So get over it.
So tell me what's going on with the Plastic Man glasses?
Plastic Man glasses.
Yeah.
Oh, so you talking about the color of the lens?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're gunners. People in the gaming community are pretty familiar with them because that's who they advertise to the most. But they filter out blue light, which is known to give people headaches and stuff.
Okay. I have that. I have a blue light coating on my glasses as well, and they're not tinted.
Oh, mine are cooler.
I think that's literally just a cheaper way to do it.
It probably is.
Yeah. Where it's just cheap.
It's an older way of doing it. You can get the glasses without.
Well, here's the advantage.
Did they give you those glasses?
Gunner?
Yeah.
No, I paid for them.
$50.
They are not a sponsor. No. Here's the advantage to the tint is that people ask me about them.
It's an advantage to Gunner. It's not an advantage to
That's
you.
true. That's true.
Gunner, give this man some free glasses.
They probably should.
Get rid of the yellow tint. He
I
looks
actually-
like Plastic Man.
I actually made a sale for them. I had a coworker ask me about them a couple times, and then a couple weeks later he shows up and goes, "Hey, I got the Gunners." I was like, "They owe me a commission." All right, so what's next?
Well, I want to say, from my 2 cents, the important takeaway here is that people aren't saying this very obviously muscular and fit person isn't fat. People aren't saying that he's fat. A handful of weirdos are. And
Sure.
all the other reasonable people know what's up.
Sure.
And are choosing not to respond because they don't spend all their time on Twitter.
Fine.
Yeah.
All right, so now we got HBO Max. Let's do HBO Max next.
Yeah,
I think that's something I can inform the two of you about, and then you can react to it.
Let's talk about HBO Max!
Is that like Game of Thrones, but only as hardcore porn?
Mm-hmm.
That's wishful thinking on your part.
It's dragon porn. It's Slither Max.
Sister company. So anyway, HBO Max is actually what we have actually talked about on this show before. We just didn't know what to call it. They just finally announced it. This is Warner Brothers streaming service. So this is where all your DC properties are going to go. This is where all your HBO properties are going to go.
I don't understand why it's called HBO Max.
I just learned this too. Warner Brothers owns HBO.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
AT&T, DirecTV, Time Warner owns HBO. So
Wait. AT&T and DirecTV are both Warner?
they bought Time Warner.
Okay. All right.
This is recent.
Okay. All right. I know that these companies buy each other all the time, and I'm behind on it. But so now they have their streaming service, where you can go see Bugs Bunny.
But why are they calling it HBO Max?
Because HBO is the most recognizable name, I think, of the bunch.
And people are going to be like, oh, if there's going to be anything that's as good as Game of Thrones, it's going to show up here.
It does denote a certain quality, I think.
But I would also think, though, I wouldn't think to go there to see DC stuff.
Right.
So are they taking all the stuff that's on CW off of Netflix and putting it onto HBO Max?
There's been very little that's actually been confirmed that's actually going to be on HBO Max. It's still like a year and a half, I think.
And what if I have like an HBO Go or HBO Now?
Right.
This is probably something you could upgrade to. It's gonna. I don't think you're gonna be mandated to get it, but I think if you want everything that's included in HBO Max, you probably just want to jump ship and go this way. I'm planning on getting it because of the value that I think that it's going to be providing.
Did they release a price point?
I think so.
Just $30 a month.
So
No, I think it's 15.
So right now
it's more expensive than Netflix.
Yeah, but I think
I'm paying over $15 a month for Netflix because I'm paying to get the 4K streaming, which I don't even have a 4K TV, but my parents do.
Mm-hmm.
And so my parents use it. My uncle uses it. I don't think you're supposed to. We all live in the same house anyway.
Yeah. Now here,
they're working on actually stopping people from doing that now because they'll know they can do that now. They know the IP addresses that you're using.
They tried with
the
the
VPN.
Yeah,
that's true.
And those are getting real popular real quick. They were trying to do that. Remember when they were trying to do that with Xbox One? Because the Xbox One was going to require the Kinect, and so it was going to watch faces like, hey, there's 8 people in this room watching Netflix for free.
So all of Friends. Yeah. Now, I thought that was going to be part of the NBC streaming service.
Are you thinking of The Office?
But I guess you know what?
Yeah, The Office is going into the NBC streaming service.
Which is, it's Comcast.
Mm-hmm.
Comcast owns NBC.
Okay, here's my take on it.
Exclusive production deals.
Every time I turn on Netflix, I am endlessly disappointed.
I don't know why. You're watching the wrong stuff.
This might be a good time to just cut out Netflix and try one.
I would also argue that you don't know what is good because you gave up on Stranger Things season 3.
You want to open that can of worms now?
let's wait a few minutes. Let's
Okay.
finish this topic first.
Because that show dumb.
It's not dumb. It's
Yeah.
really good. I don't know why we're talking like this.
So they're gonna have some original. They're gonna have original content.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh,
that's
yeah.
good.
Yeah, and I don't know. They're gonna have Gremlins, so
Animated.
yeah, animated Gremlins.
Why?
They don't say why. It just says Gremlins, an animated series from Warner Brothers Animated and Amblin Entertainment based on the original movie.
Oh my god, this is like when they were releasing Terminator 2 action figures. Like, that property isn't meant for children.
Okay, this is all the HBO stuff that's been already announced that it will be on
Oh, Stephen King is going to be associated? Never mind.
it.
Skip it.
They've been overloading on Stephen King stuff the last couple of years.
Why? Because of that bad movie they released, It?
That was actually one of the good ones. That was a very good movie.
Stupid movie.
But they also put out Castle Rock, which oh my god, fell asleep during. I hate Castle Rock.
That's the appropriate response to a Stephen King live action. Guy can write. He's a writer. It's what he does best.
I think some would argue he's not even that good of a writer.
There are some problems.
Yeah.
But his ideas are fun, and when you're reading the book, you have some control over the way they're presented to you, because it's basically all in your head. All the imagery is in your head, and you get to kind of refine things, and you're an active part of the process. When it's a movie, it's someone's particular vision, and sometimes it's Stephen King's particular vision, and when that happens, you get maximum overdrive.
Yeah, so this is cool. The exclusive streaming home to a string of new Warner Brothers produced dramas for the CW beginning in the fall of 2019 season, including the new DC Entertainment series Batwoman and Katie Keene, spinoff of Riverdale.
Which
Two spinoffs now of Riverdale. Well, technically, Sabrina's not a spinoff. It just happens in the same universe.
Technically, if you take it all back to the source at this point, absolutely everything is a spin-off of Riverdale. I have to say, Titans was kind of dumb.
I didn't like it.
And all of their animated stuff has been really bad. Honestly, the thing I like best about DC right now is their live action stuff, and they are completely Morty completely deconstructing that now too. So
What, the live
Yeah,
action
Swamp
stuff?
Thing's canceled. It was canceled right around.
That was so dumb that they canceled it. They canceled it even before it aired.
I'm sorry, by live action.
Right after the first airing of the first episode.
By live action, I meant movies. Like, the only
Yeah.
thing I kind of like out of DC is the movies.
Movies suck.
So
Well,
last night, Batman: Last Night on Earth was okay.
I'm liking
Have
it so
fun,
far.
kids.
The comic?
Yeah,
I'm liking it so far. I read it. I
it's
did read it.
very, very Scott Snyder. It's very.
I'm fine with it. I like it.
Oh, the bat of the moon has its solar beams that beam down in order to destroy the world and has turned Batman into a concept. And here is the magic sword of vengeance, which you were accidentally struck by in that alley, but it has the power to take away your memories, and that's why you seek vengeance, Batman. And here's the Joker's head in the canary cage. Why not at this point?
But
Why not?
didn't you talk about this before, about at what point where there'll be when is enough streaming services?
Yeah, we have talked about that. Now this one, this is a consolidation of a couple that already exist. So we are getting less with the HBO Max. I guess it depends on how you view it. Because if they do continue just the HBO Now, if they continue that one while having this one and still have the DC one, because I think eventually
they're
the
gonna get rid
DC.
of the DC.
That's what it looks like,
Yeah.
and they haven't officially said all of them are moving over, but it looks like that eventually that's what they're going to do is just absorb all of it. So if they can absorb all of the HBO streaming stuff and all the DC streaming stuff into this one, and also have added value from these other places, like you saw the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It's the only place you're going to be able to stream it. So
I'm only interested in a reboot at this point. I want to see the Fresh Princess of Bel-Air, his daughter, played by his actual daughter, because why the hell not?
I feel like that would probably have the same outcome as the Girl Meets World.
I heard Girl Meets World did well.
I thought it did bad.
I heard it did well. I know that.
I've heard nothing about it since the first couple weeks it came out.
I know that Fuller House. I think Fuller House is like
I think it had a.
up to 3 seasons now, and it's
I think they're ending it though at 3.
It's not even the Diet Coke because it wastes your time. You do spend something on it, so it's kind of like the Pepsi. Like it's bad for you. It wastes time.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's harmless in moderation. Unless you're diabetic, in which case Candace Cameron can fuck the hell off.
It will sound like you tried to. Are you trying to censor yourself?
No, I just messed up that. I messed up
so.
that phraseology just a little bit. Okay, so. And I was the one. Hey, we should do more kid-friendly stuff because it'll be better for YouTube. That won't bleep us.
I think the rule is if you have an F bomb in the first like 2 minutes, that's really
that's
bad.
an important one.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Do you want to quickly hash it out with Stranger Things?
Rob, have you seen Stranger Things?
I did. I finished it last night, actually.
Excellent.
So, I'm glad you survived. I couldn't have taken a whole season of that.
Okay.
Give it a grade.
Yeah. Yeah, hot take.
You can do 1 out of 100 or 1 out of 10. We go back and forth.
I don't
They're the same
know.
Kind of.
They're identical.
Maybe a C-. Can I give it a letter grade?
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is still passing.
Yeah,
Still
between 70 and 74.
Like I don't feel like I totally wasted my time. I enjoyed seeing those characters again, and I enjoyed seeing them do what they do again. And I felt bad for poor Will. Just wanted to play some fucking D&D.
I know, right?
And spoiler alert. Are we spoiling it?
Light spoilers. We won't do anything crazy. How crazy you want to go?
Well,
we can
I
warn
want to go. Okay, I'm gonna give a guess. Okay. All right, because I didn't finish it. I got 2.5 episodes in.
Okay.
Okay.
Then, yeah.
So
He's not gonna finish it.
I'm not gonna finish it. The whole Will thing wants to play D&D is that the monsters still got him, and a D&D session is the only way to convey the.
No, way off.
Oh, so it's just dumb. It doesn't even service anything.
I knew it. I knew it. You're gonna find a way for it to be dumb either way.
Huh? Yeah, it is dumb either way. But the thing is that if it was him, D&D is the only way I can tell you, or the shadow monster will know because he still has influence over me.
No,
That at least would have been something.
No, what it is that all the other people in the group have girlfriends.
All the other characters have been written. And so Will's got to do something.
It doesn't take that much of the. It's like the end of. It's like in two different episodes he makes reference to that he just wants to play D&D, and
for me that was 100% of the episodes. So,
but no, they they have the other two guys. Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Mike and Lucas.
And Lucas.
Because Dusty doesn't matter anymore.
He's
really Steve's friend.
He gets separated from the party.
Why? He can just go to their houses.
I can't tell you why unless we're going to spoil it.
I watched it happen. He just started hanging out in the mall more.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
They had a Russian code to decrypt.
Right, the Russian code.
What's so funny about the Russian code?
I love that they were like, oh, we're going to have this, because it's the 80s, we're going to have the Soviets involved. And then they're like, there's going to be this Russian code. And they're like, shit! None of the characters speak Russian. Let's pull a random name out of the application stack. This girl will do. Let's just say she speaks Russian.
They didn't.
She
spoke French.
It was a little bit of a stretch of how she figured it out.
Why wasn't she a foreign exchange student from the Ukraine?
Why would they need to make it that easy?
It's not that easy. It's that interesting. Because
that's not that interesting. That's just a cheap.
Or why couldn't she be like the daughter of one of the Russian soldiers?
Right.
Or like one of the higher ups.
Exactly. Something cool other than just cuz. She just does this just cuz.
No, I'm not buying that. I would have hated it. They would have made it that cheap.
It's cheaper to do nothing. It's way cheaper to do nothing.
What do you mean nothing?
They were like, she speaks languages. She can figure it out. Why the hell not?
She had a Russian dictionary, and she had to deduct it based on what she knew about other languages. It took them days to figure it out.
Right.
It didn't take them that long.
It was a couple days.
It was kind of like, did you ever see that movie with Antonio Banderas, and he like instantly
Eaters of the Dead?
No,
The 13th Warrior?
13th Warrior.
Eaters of the Dead is the book. I read the book,
Okay.
so that's why I didn't know which one was which. Yeah, it's a Michael Crichton.
He knew. He just wanted to say
Or he
that.
No,
just
I
like-
really didn't. I couldn't remember.
He's sitting around the campfire and they're all talking,
And all of a
then
sudden he decrypts the
all
language.
yeah.
Yeah. It's a little bit different in the book. They explain how he does it, but it's not. He doesn't actually know all the words. It's just he's deducing it based on what you like all the Latin. Like there's Latin languages and they're all similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same kind of thing.
And the thing is that ultimately the decrypting of the Russian code isn't important. It's just something that's going to happen. They had an opportunity to bring in an interesting character. Instead, they were just like some girl who's acquainted with languages.
She is an interesting character. I think by the end of the series, I think she ends up becoming an interesting character. Because I think they had her going one direction, right? As the love interest of Steve, and that's where you thought it was going to go the whole time. And then they took a
hooks
sharp
up with Dustin.
took a sharp right, and I liked it.
I mean, I'm glad that you're right. I'm glad that they went and not that direction.
Right.
But I think they might have veered a little too far.
You think so? Okay.
I think so because
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I thought it was a fine resolution to a problem that like the problem presented itself and then resolved itself pretty quickly because of his reaction to her. We're talking in very cryptic language here because we don't want to spoil anything. But what I'm trying to say ultimately is I think that what they did was something unpredictable. It wasn't. I certainly didn't see it coming. And I ended up liking what they did with the non-interesting girl that you called her.
I mean, that's exactly what she was.
No, she was interesting.
liked her.
I enjoyed her character. I enjoyed her in the show. I would have been okay seeing more of her.
I think
She seemed like a character very much for convenience.
here's you
Well,
make that claim a lot about different characters. I've
But
heard
yeah,
make that claim a lot.
when you make a story, sometimes you do have to throw in characters for convenience.
Yeah, but
because
they literally didn't have to with this one. They literally didn't have to specifically because of the Cold
They
War.
didn't have to, but you can have some. But I mean, things that didn't have to happen. There's a long list of that in every show.
Remember the first one where they needed basically a character that was going to be a weapon against the Demogorgon?
Yeah.
And it was 11.
Yeah.
And she was by far the most interesting character and one of the ones with the most compelling backstory, and she herself was this whole plot point. Robin could have been that. No problem at all. Easy stuff.
She could have been the superpowered girl.
No, she could have been a Russian spy. She could have literally been a Russian spy.
well,
It's
she
fine.
was.
It's fine.
It's fine. The show. It's
I think. Sorry, I cut you off, but I was going to say. I just want to say that I think that if you watched it through completion, all the way to the end, I think there'd be definitely moments that you would really enjoy about the whole thing.
About 15%. Because that's what I enjoyed about it, because about 15% of the show is dedicated to the plot. The vast majority of it is going shopping at the mall, or 11 using her psychic powers to listen to Mike fart.
but
That was a pretty short.
but like if you have a movie, you have an hour and a half, 2 hours to tell the story.
Uh-huh.
This is a series. This is an 8-hour movie basically.
Uh-huh.
So you're gonna have filler shit like that.
Yes, and you know what? It's not. This fucking show is not Jessica Jones, which is way too long. I finally finished it, by the way. Oh my god!
Why did you finish it?
I wanted to have some closure.
It's good to if you start a show before you. I think before you can form a proper opinion on it, you should finish it.
My opinion...
Or if you just don't like it, then don't finish it.
Yeah, my opinion was
Then
I
that's
didn't
fine.
enjoy watching it. And
So that's fine.
So if anybody asks my opinion on it, don't watch it, because I didn't enjoy it. And
The first 2.5 episodes.
you shouldn't have to finish... Okay, it's like saying...
did you see Midsummer?
Not yet. I really want to see it.
Because that reminds me, you said you
I
were
really wanna
super
see
excited
it.
to see it.
Yeah.
I saw it.
I've gotten mixed reviews. People have been telling me different things.
Hold on. I want to address this.
Okay, go ahead.
You don't have to finish something to make an opinion on it. That's like saying, "Oh, I'm not really interested in buying a Maserati." Have you even bought one yet?
It's
But
not
you
the
probably
same
test
thing.
drive it before you drive it.
It's
though.
not the same thing. And I don't have an opinion on Maseratis. I have the opinion that I can't afford one. And
Yeah.
don't really. I'm not interested in the type of car that it is.
Yeah, and I'm not interested in investing any more time in Stranger Things 3.
That's fine.
That's fine.
totally
That
fine.
is fine, but there
represented itself poorly out of the gate.
But there is some truth. Like you do need the asterisk on your opinion about the show that it's only about the two and a half first episodes.
You have an incomplete story. You're basing your.
You just gotta be fair to what you're projecting.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so my opinion
like,
is don't finish it.
It's
Right.
like reading one line from a poem and being like, "Well, this sucks."
That's like watching the first half of the Sixth Sense and saying that the movie's terrible.
It was compelling.
Well, to be fair,
I loved it.
Establishments, setups, and cliffhangers can be compelling.
Sure.
I found Stranger Things 3
yeah.
setup and some of the cliffhangers because they established some of them.
Some of them.
I didn't find them to be compelling. I found them silly, and most of them were like,
It's
"Oh,
fair.
let's watch the kids run around."
It's fair. I just don't want you telling people that the entire thing sucks if you haven't even finished it.
I don't think. I'm just saying you shouldn't waste your time on it.
By his estimation, the whole thing sucks.
if what is it, 1/6 of the whole thing is anything to go by.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I would be okay with them not making any more Stranger Things.
they're only doing one more season.
Oh boy,
They did leave it open.
There's a little bit of a cliffhanger.
There is a little bit of one, but I would be okay if I'm not super pumped to see the last season. But if they finish off the story and it ties it all together in a neat package, because we saw somebody that I didn't think we were going to see from season 2, and I was surprised when we saw them.
was it 008? Is that who it was?
No.
No.
I'll tell you this: if they keep it 9 episodes or less, I'm definitely gonna finish it.
Hold on. So the whole 008 plot is they wasted the whole thing?
Yes.
Well,
no conclusion whatsoever.
Well, the conclusion was what you saw in season 2.
Okay. What about the rest? Oh, okay.
It was a waste of time, in my opinion.
What about numbers 1 through 10, excluding 8?
No references.
No reference.
No.
Okay.
They're all dead. Who cares?
Okay. Why can't they be dead in the Upside Down?
They can be. I don't know. Well, what if you're dead in the Upside Down? You're dead. You're dead in either one.
Says who?
Oh, I guess the writers of the show.
When did they say that?
Well, I deducted it because what's her face is definitely Barb is definitely dead.
Barb? They can make a new Barb. I saw the new Billy. They have upside Billy. Why can't they have upside Barb?
Upside Billy, not upside Barb.
Yeah.
Or upside Billy. No.
Yeah,
no,
they got
Billy's
upside,
just Billy.
No, they got upside Billy. Billy met himself in the Upside Down. He's like, "Hey, upside Billy."
Oh no, those are just. I'm sure those are just projections. I guess they. Whatever. I'm not writing the show, and you're not writing the show, so whatever. What were you trying to say about Midsummer?
That you should manage your expectations.
Okay. All right. Fair.
That it's a summer horror movie.
Yeah.
And those are typically not Oscar winners.
Pretty shallow.
Like the vast majority of my favorite movies are not Oscar winners.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. But I mean, it's just
glaring exception.
I laughed out loud several times
at Midsummer.
In Midsummer,
horror movies generally don't have that effect on me.
Horror movies make me laugh.
They make me
every time.
laugh.
Pretty much every time.
The dumber they are, the more I laugh.
Well, sure, if it's a dumb horror movie, like.
But there was some dumbass shit in this movie.
Oh, really?
And that people like, I wasn't the only one laughing either.
Weird.
But there were some things that were obviously obvious jokes, like they wanted.
Oh, they tried to make you laugh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, like Cabin in the Woods can make you laugh. That's okay.
Cabin in the Woods, awesome.
It can make you laugh.
Yeah.
Sure. Oh God.
It's got a little bit of sing along too. Remember, they got The Cure, 6 different ways. Remember that? Mm-hmm. Remember that John T. tune they had while they were cleaning up the monster blood?
Yes.
Were you looking forward to Chapter 2?
No, God.
I am. He hates it.
You.
Yeah, I love it.
It was very good.
The new one. The old one's kind of cheesy, but I really like the new.
It was a made-for-TV movie, so
right. There's going to be a little bit of cheese in there sprinkled in.
Yeah. I didn't like that they made Pennywise a Jedi.
He's an otherworldly being. Like, who cares?
he's a meta-worldly being.
Whatever.
He's from the Macroverse.
Okay.
In which
what's the next topic?
Yeah, I'm super ready to get to the next topic, so I can disagree with Zach on something else.
Let's talk about Spider-Man: Far From Home.
We
Because everybody was mad that everyone was mad that I tried to review it without watching it.
You watched it and you still don't like it.
Okay, the thing is that's not as dumb as you described it.
I'm just bad at describing it.
You've seen it? Okay. Johnny told me,
I messed up the
This
train
was one of my
scene.
biggest points of contention.
The train?
The description. Yeah, one of the biggest points of contention was Johnny was like,
I couldn't remember.
then Spider-Man gets hit by a train.
And he's on the
and
train.
then later he's on the train.
My memory really messed that up. Oh, man. Sorry.
Jake Gyllenhaal was still laughably bad in that movie.
No, he wasn't. He was great.
You couldn't. Sometimes it was difficult It was difficult to discern what he meant by what he was saying because he gave no inflection in anything. He literally gave every single word the same amount of emphasis.
Okay, fair.
Actually, that pause was too much. He literally gave the same amount of emphasis to every word.
That's fair. That's fair.
He didn't give a shit.
No way. No, I don't believe that for a second. I think he put a lot into it, especially that last.
When the director literally
Last
tells
act.
when the director literally tells you to scream, there's not a lot of ways to misinterpret the performance.
Okay. What would be your rating of Far From Home?
I would give it an 88.
That's fair.
88.
I personally said when I came back, Zach, you can quote me on this. I'm on record as saying it, that it is, I think, the best depiction of Spider-Man in a movie so far. That's my view of it.
It's the one.
I mean,
most
it's
faithful...
good. It's good to see Spider-Man finally in the MCU. I mean, he's been in there for a little while now. He's established.
We get one more movie out of him.
Oh, thank God.
For the contract. That he's contracted for one more movie in the MCU.
Like a Spider-Man movie, or
like they have Tom Holland for one more Spider-Man movie.
Okay.
They're gonna do Iron Patriot. They're gonna do it right this time.
I don't know. Whatever.
That would actually be a good Spider-Man movie.
What they can do, whatever. I mean, Iron Man's dead. Captain America is gonna be the Falcon is gonna be Captain America.
Well, yeah, they're doing this the shows, the DC Plus streaming shows now.
Yeah. Well, not now, but in November.
Right, when it airs, yeah.
I actually went to go see this movie on a whim by myself. And
Me too.
As I was
9:30 in the morning.
I saw it by myself too.
as I was sitting in the theater, like at least 25 minutes in, I was like, I shouldn't be here. This is literally for 12-year-olds and like really hyper focused on the tween demographic. It's 10 to 12. It felt like a Nickelodeon movie. I told Johnny that.
I mean, it's a bunch of high school kids on a field trip.
Right, but it's like, oh, the two goofy teachers and the
Well, they're comedians. They're
true.
both comedians.
They're both comedians.
yeah, but the teachers aren't comedians.
But they're being played by comedians. So I mean,
Right.
they cast them purposefully to be goofy.
Right.
Well, and all the MCU movies have a comedy element injected into
Right.
it. I know what you're talking about. I know that the movie seemed a little goofier than others, but I don't think it was that extreme.
But Spider-Man has always been more lighthearted than other Marvel
Spider-Man,
comics.
the way it was set up, I want to say Peter Laird. I know a P's in his name somewhere. I can't think of it right now. But when he started really cracking jokes, maybe that was Peter David. When you really
the teacher?
Huh? No, I'm talking about Spider-Man.
Oh,
The writer.
Oh, okay.
It was like there was sort of Spider-Man cracks jokes to get his mind off of the crazy amount of danger that he's in. So it went from like wry, sometimes a little silly, and then like to gallows humor, where it was like, wow, I'm glad every bone in my body wasn't completely broken and powderized, and that Electro didn't, like, it felt like that. It was like, wow, if I don't get out of here soon, I'm going to be a human light bulb because this dude's literally about to kill me.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Also, the plot didn't make any sense.
Oh, the plot was fine.
And everybody was doofy. Nothing made any sense. The motivations were weak. I don't understand the romance between Peter and Mary Jane whatsoever. And
But they're cute. They like each
It was
other.
just weak. It was weak.
I don't
You're
think
weak.
I don't think high school crushes are meant to make that much sense.
They should. You know what? These people should at least interact a little bit.
Well, they do. We don't always see it on screen. I mean, we don't see.
That's the point of a movie, to show us what happens.
No, I know that, but we know that they have some type of relationship. That we know that they talk. We know that they're in the same class.
We know
that they are familiar with one another.
We know that Peter is basically afraid to approach her.
Yeah,
Which makes me wonder why Mary Jane knows she exists. Because I know that I went to high school with a lot of people, and if I didn't talk to them, they didn't know who I was.
All right, cool.
I'll say it once. I've said it once, and I'll say it again. The love interest should have been Ned. They're far closer.
I'm fine with that.
It should have been like, oh, Peter sees this attractive girl, and he's like, oh boy, this attractive girl. And Ned is like, but we spent all the time together, and that's kind of a secret. And then like he goes after Mary Jane, and she's like, why would you be into me? We don't spend any time together. And then he turns around, and Ned's there with the bouquet, and he's like, you were right in front of me all along.
No.
Yes.
No. He ignores him. He ignores him and still goes after Mary Jane, and then he becomes bitter, and then he becomes the next villain.
Oh, Ned does?
Yeah, I think that's what should happen.
No, I just want to see him kiss.
Oh, man.
Really, that's all I want.
I liked it. The mid credit scene, I really like. I told you.
Yeah.
Scene. Can I say?
We talked about
Yeah.
we talked about JJ.
Okay.
Yeah.
To see J.K. Simmons back as J. Jonah Jameson was amazing, especially as like a right wing like vlogger,
like
a Alex Jones
Tom
type.
Jones.
I saw it in an advanced screening. I couldn't make out a word he was saying because everybody was yelling.
Really?
They were so happy to see him. I couldn't hear a word he was saying.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was the only nerd that was like, ah!
Yeah.
I went to the 9:30 in the morning
Yeah.
showing.
Nice.
There was a baby that was crying through half of it, but the baby was far enough away. It wasn't a huge distraction.
Sure.
But it was still like, why is there a baby?
I would never take a baby to a.
J.K. Simmons.
You have a baby.
I know, and I would never take him to a movie.
Because the baby's not getting anything out of it.
No, it's no.
No, the people that do that are people that don't want to find babysitters or
Yeah,
something.
or they're just a classless individual. But to be honest, like I'm super like crazy about the movie theater being quiet. Like it bothers me so much when people are talking during the movie, whooping out their phones and all kinds of stuff. I'm pretty crazy about that.
It goes one step further with you. Because you don't like it when people react too much to the movie.
Correct.
It's like if people are laughing at a joke and like it goes a little too long, he's just steaming.
Now, how about no?
It's
I
true.
don't know if there's a theater out there that does this, but what would you think? Like, have you ever seen like a silent disco?
Where everybody's
No.
listening on their headphones.
Yeah. So there's a DJ and there's all these people on the dance floor, but they're all wearing headphones.
Wow.
And so you go, if you don't have the headphones, you don't hear anything, but you see all these people dancing.
That's trippy.
What about if a movie theater, instead of having the big speakers all the
They
way
just give you
around,
headphones.
or you bring your own?
You
Like,
bring your own. Yeah,
Bluetooth.
It's like a
Bluetooth.
noise canceller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or because I was thinking also the alternative, because I think iPick is kind of like this. I don't know. I haven't been yet. But like if you had your own little pod, like where you had your speakers in your pod.
That would make the experience $20 a pop. Bare minimum.
No, I think
iPick,
it's more than $20 a pop.
iPick is expensive. It's very expensive.
No. What I'm saying is that if you design theaters to do that,
Well,
Oh sure.
it'd be $20 a ticket.
Right.
but
because
like
a lot less seats.
drive-in movie theaters. I mean, this shows you how old I am. There's still one up in Hockley,
Mhm.
but I know there you just tune your radio to a
Which
certain.
is
I've heard about
pretty
that.
much the perfect system.
like an FM transmitter. But I'm wondering how far away we are from people just going to a large warehouse where they've turned it into a VR movie setting, where you just go in and you put on a VR headset and you just sit in your seat and you watch your movie that way.
Well,
like-
why would you need to go somewhere?
Well, it's just because the equipment's expensive.
And rent it
so
out
instead of buying your own VR headset, you go somewhere and watch a movie in VR.
I think the most important thing for any of this would be how, like, it's really about making sure you can't hear the jackasses
Right.
around you. That's the only thing.
Audio blinders.
Yeah. So, like, apart from VR, like
I'm just wondering like how far we are from that because I think that's going to happen.
I don't see that. Like, it's really the audio experience. The visual experience is always
Oh,
fine.
you just think that's more important?
Yeah, it's because like the audio experience is the part of the experience that audience members can participate in. They can't suddenly be in the movie and start touching Spider-Man.
I guess what I'm wondering
but
is,
they can talk over it.
will we ever get to the point where people are making movies for VR?
God, I hope not. I don't think
That would be
right.
that'd be very expensive.
Sure.
To shoot with those
you can limit
camera,
you can limit. Yeah, you're right.
The editing would be such a nice.
You would have to do everything in mise en scene. Basically, it would have to be one continuous shot.
Well, I mean, no, it wouldn't.
It wouldn't have to
from
be.
scene to scene. So, like, you'd have scene breaks.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Each scene would have to be a continuous shot. Is what I'm saying. Yeah. Because you'd want to fade out, then fade back in for new scenes. I don't know. I'm curious about it. I would love to try something like that.
Well, it's kind of like in Star Trek. What they did was they had holo novels, and you were intended to interact.
Right.
But we don't have the technology to make.
See, I think
characters interact with you.
What we're talking about is almost a cross between a video game experience and a narrative that's more streamlined.
Well, it's just like, okay, like in a VR setting, if it was a purely VR movie, that means that the director has absolutely no way to control from what perspective you see it. You can literally just walk around in it, and as a result, you can miss information.
Not necessarily, because you don't have to have the person be able to move in the space. You can even limit their scope of how you can have black walls so they can look like from here to here.
Oh, they did something like that.
Yeah.
It's called a movie.
Yeah, you're right. But can you look at the birds? Okay, so another thing we're gonna briefly talk about is Mortal Kombat. The movie by James Wan is still happening and due out in 2021, and they cast their first person to be in the movie. They cast Sub-Zero.
Who's going to play Sub-Zero?
This man,
Joe
Taslim. Yeah.
You said it right. Joe Taslim.
Yeah.
It's an Indonesian model.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I like it. I really like his look.
But
he was in the Raid.
Yeah, he was known for the Raid. That's where his big coming out party was, and then Fast and the Furious 6.
Fast and the Furies.
Fast and the Furies.
Fast and the Furries.
Yep. So he played.
I want him to keep that mustache.
Yeah.
For the whole thing. I don't know. There's something.
He was Jaw in Fast and Furious 6.
Although I
don't think all three of us have seen that movie. I haven't seen any Fast and Furious movie. It's one of the things I'm most proud of.
I saw the first one, and that was enough for me.
I did not see any of them.
I don't think I've seen any of them.
I think that he's gotten more and more.
It's not
ridiculous.
a point of pride, though. I just like.
No, I know.
I think they're easy to
they
miss.
they were stealing a truckload of like TV VCR combos and shit.
That's how long this series has been going.
And the latest one is that he's got his high-tech carbon fiber armor and shield and sword to fight the Rock.
It's so ridiculous. They're all super ridiculous. Now they're trying to save the world with cars and like all kinds of weird crap.
I guess to save the whole world.
You think you need a car?
You'd need at least one.
Okay, you're right.
I was gonna say that his look with the mustache and everything, like it screams like kind of like paternal Japanese figure to me. But I can't remember if Sub-Zero is Japanese.
Oh, I don't know.
I know that one of them is named Bihan because there's two Sub-Zeros.
Let me try to get the. Let me get this up here so people can see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, you know what? I would dig a Sub-Zero with a mustache because ultimately it doesn't matter.
It does not. He's behind a mask.
Yeah.
If you're doing it right, then you never see his face.
Well, okay, Bihan. Was Bihan the original? I can't remember.
This movie can't be any good, so it doesn't really matter who plays it.
I don't know if I agree.
I'm pretty invested in the story of Mortal Kombat. I like the stories that go with the game.
Did you see the original from the 90s? That movie.
I can't remember.
From what I've learned is that there's some people out there who really love that movie.
It's got a
following, but it's not. And even when I was a kid, I loved it.
Yeah.
But I know that movie is not good. Like especially that one, and especially the sequel.
Yeah.
The sequel's terrible.
The question is it entertaining? Basically, you have
to a what? I don't know how old I was. 12-year-old me.
You have to count your eye rolls to see if anything's like so dumb that you just can't take it.
Well, that's the new challenge. And the Mortal Kombat challenge is to go watch it again now and see how many eye rolls there are.
Yeah. Although I will say, like, even as a kid, like being a fan of the games and like Sonya Blade became kind of like a damsel in distress. I was like, bullshit.
Oh yeah.
Sonya Blade will blow a kiss at you and inflate you until you die.
Is that what happened? Is that what happened in that movie?
Did you guys watch Black Mirror?
Not the latest one.
I haven't seen any of season 2 at all.
Oh, you're way behind.
This is
like
season
5.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
And there's only 3 episodes.
Yeah, they shortened them down an episode. I mean, a lot of English, like UK English, TV series are done that way. They do quality over quantity.
Are you talking about the Mortal Kombat episode where it's like a dude and a dude, but one of the dudes is a lady, and then they start getting after it in the video game?
Man, don't spoil it.
You're right. That was definitely the part of that episode that you've got to focus on. And then they get after it.
And then they get after it.
Black Mirror.
Man! It's all ruined.
I didn't know they were going to get after it. Alright. Oh, he's on a different layer. Okay. So, Sub-Zero's been cast. If you were okay, let's assume, for argument's sake, that this is a straight-up reboot. Which way do you go with the Sub-Zero character? Because in the first one, he was a throwaway character. He was in one scene.
I think you focus in on, there's a few different ways you can go with it. But I think that there actually is a lot of lore, if I'm not mistaken, between Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
Yes, there is.
So I would focus in on that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what would that mean. I'm not as familiar with the lore as you are, but I would want to focus in on that.
Okay, how much? Like, because Liu Kang pretty much has to be the main character.
Yeah.
Okay, he doesn't have to be the main character, but if you're honoring the story, then like it's really all about Liu Kang.
Mm-hmm. He's got a Mortal Kombat fatigue. We've already talked too long about Mortal Kombat.
Do you know much about Mortal Kombat, Rob?
I mean, I played it a little bit. I was more of a Street Fighter guy. I don't know if is there a rift between the two or not.
Kind of. Back in the 90s there was.
That's how old I am.
Well, no, I played it in the 90s too, and I was more of a Mortal Kombat guy.
Only as much as there was between the SNES and the Genesis, because the SNES was basically the only place you could get Street Fighter, and then Genesis was the only place that you could play unedited arcade ports that had blood and stuff.
Yeah, they edited out the blood in Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
For the original Mortal Kombat.
I never had an SNES.
Really?
No, I had.
That's my favorite console.
I had the original Nintendo, and then I had a GameCube. I went
weird.
And then that's it.
You skipped a lot of stuff.
Did you play Street Fighter like exclusively in the arcades?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing I miss about the 90s. Just a place to go and play video games.
There's still arcades out there.
Yeah,
that's not my living room. That's what I'm trying to get at.
But they suck though.
Oh, the arcades?
Yeah.
I had fun.
Joysticks is around. There's another one that's opening up.
I found that the support for joysticks is kind of like, don't get me wrong, I like going there, but the support is bad. The machines are often down, and X-Men, unless you come with 4 people, is nigh unplayable because everybody just max out the credits, and so you're stuck like having to move Cyclops from screen to screen.
I beat it with Hawkeye. No,
No.
That wasn't X-Men.
He ain't no X-Men.
That was Avengers.
Nightcrawler?
No, I
think he's thinking of a different game.
Oh, different game.
Okay.
Okay.
Either way.
Yes.
Either way.
Mm.
I'm curious to know about this other place that's opening up, arcade that you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about that later. Or we'll look it up.
Okay.
We don't have much left to talk about.
But here's the thing. What direction I would go with
Oh,
Sub-Zero.
okay, I'm sorry. We're not done talking about Mortal Kombat.
Are you familiar with the with the move, the Alaskan Pipeline?
That's a move?
Yeah, it's like something you can do in the bedroom.
I'm not familiar with that. That sounds like I'm not gonna go there. You
Basically.
Oh no!
What you do. Don't worry, they know what I'm talking about.
You go get your corkscrew. Right?
Actually, what you're going to need is a refrigerator freezer combo and a condom.
Okay.
And eat a big breakfast.
We're done. We're done with that. We're done with that. All right. We're gonna skip the Scarlett Johansson thing because that's muddy.
That's almost like I definitely kind of want to get into it.
Really? You want to get into the Scarlett Johansson playing a trans person? Muddy
Oh, I
waters?
heard about that.
I
Yeah.
haven't heard about it.
Yeah, that's
Well, the whole deal with people being outraged over the sex or ethnicity of characters or actors playing characters is all ridiculous because it's all they're actors.
Right.
They are portraying something that they are not.
Right.
So
But there are lines you can't cross.
But they're like
Like you should not be doing blackface.
right.
For example.
Soul Man should have never happened.
Right. Right. I remember we talked about this because that guy that played that character was at a convention.
Yeah.
That we were at.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name.
They did it on
St.
How I Met Your
Thomas
Mother.
Howell or something like that.
They did it on How I Met Your Mother.
I don't watch that show, so.
But Scarlett
Hands
Johansson has been accused of being.
Well, she wanted to play a trans person in a movie, and then she dropped out of the movie because of the backlash.
Okay.
And then recently, she was quoted because she came up again in an interview, and she said, "I should be able to play whoever the hell I want."
Yeah,
Yeah,
which
I agree. I agree, but there are some tricky things. Like I said, you shouldn't be doing blackface. I don't know if you should go the other way. I don't know if white chicks should have happened. I'm not going to comment on that one.
I think we're all just really high strung.
Yeah.
And for no real reason, because the backlash, like I said, it's not what people are saying; it's what a handful of weirdos are saying.
Well, no. That's not the problem though. The reason I was even worried about getting into it is because I do believe there is an institutional issue with certain groups not getting representation in Hollywood.
Right.
Like that's a real problem. But I don't know how you would address it because also at the same time I don't think you should be limiting Scarlett Johansson on what she can play and what she can't play.
No, because like Rob said, she's an actress. Her job is to
Correct.
portray something. In fact, that's all of acting. It's not like if you were to make a new Superman movie, like you're like, hey, Warner Brothers, I got a great idea for a new Superman movie. Like, which Kryptonian do you think we should option? Well, none, because we don't have any.
Right, but you also have a history of Hollywood where they get white actors to play Egyptians.
Mm-hmm.
Like that shouldn't be happening.
British
either.
people.
British people, and that
basically all Roman movies.
Right.
Really, the Romans really get the shaft.
So I stand on kind of both sides of the fence here because yes, representation is an issue for minority groups. Like you shouldn't be getting white actors to play everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like I said, Scarlett Johansson should be able to play. Like Matthew McConaughey played a gay person, and that was great. Everyone loved him in that.
Yeah.
So like good actors should be able to play roles that they want to play, but we shouldn't be shunning everybody that could play that already is gay or is already trans or already black to play those roles. We shouldn't be blocking them out of the whole thing.
And one of the reasons that you pick specific people is so that the movie will actually get seen.
Sure.
And so they pick Scarlett Johansson.
Right. It comes down to money.
Right. And the thing is that then you have a movie about a trans person portrayed by a good actress. And isn't that important too? That the movie actually even get made?
It is. No,
and be seen.
But both, like I said, both things are somewhat true. Both sides of the argument, and really, what needs to happen if you want more representation from minority groups in movies, is a societal shift, which is going to be much harder to create because you have to stop people like let's say. You do put a no name in a let's say it's a gay black actor.
Okay.
And because the character's gay
and black.
But it's not going to be seen, right? Because there's not a headliner.
Right. Or, it could be seen because it really comes down to marketing. It
can come down to marketing.
Too. I think that they also thought that Scarlett Johansson would be good for the role, which may have been part of it. They just wanted Scarlett Johansson to do it. They liked some of the proof of concepts with the makeup or SketchUps or whatever they did, and they were like, yeah, this is going to be a good movie. And then everybody decided because the actor wasn't exactly what she was portraying, then she oughtn't do it, which is super duper weird.
No, I get that. I get that. I'm trying to address the other part of it is that to get people to to get more minorities, I guess, seen in front of and in theaters in movies, big budget movies. People who have the buying power need to make that decision with their money.
Right.
That's how that works. But I'm just saying that's not an easy thing to do. Is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it also comes down to what investors will put their money into as well.
Right, because they're going to go with the proven concept. They're going to go with these guys are big actors. We're going to put them in our big movies.
Yeah.
So and that lineup is mostly straight males, or not males, but straight white people. And so that's why we have that issue, and it's going to be something that's going to be hard to fix. That's all I'm getting at.
Okay. I agree with Scarlett Johansson. She should be able to play whoever else she wants.
Easy fix. Eat the rich.
Yeah, that's an option.
Yep.
Soylent Green is people.
Soylent Green is people.
So that's Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson, you can be my transsexual any day.
Right. Yep. Absolutely.
Why'd you give it that inflection? I'm not sexualizing her. I just literally want her to be my transsexual.
Oh, I wasn't listening. That was my standard response.
What if I said something about the Muppet Babies? Ooh. I'll say.
I hope you don't.
I'll buy that for $1.
You can't say anything about the Muppet Babies anymore. They're off limits on this show.
I have something horrifying to show you later.
Oh no! The only thing we have left to talk about, and we'll make it brief, is the announcement of the Switch Lite.
Okay.
Were you aware of this?
I didn't know this. No.
Okay.
I got a Switch 2 years ago, and
and it's the best thing ever.
I played it like 3 times.
Yeah, it's still a great console.
I play my Wii U much more,
which is odd. I'll admit. I don't think there's a person out there. You might be the only person who owns both a Wii U and a Switch and is playing the Wii U more.
Why? Is there any
just
amazing games that came out for it?
Everything.
Everything. Big fan of ARMS.
Everything getting ported to Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you looked at the Nintendo eShop? Like at all?
No.
Okay then.
You know why? The one on my Wii U still works.
that doesn't make it.
And it's the one that's plugged in. They're the same games.
You just haven't plugged in your Switch yet, have you?
They're the same games. If the eShop is what you're going after,
no, they're not
it doesn't matter.
It's not that there's a lot of indie things, and Doom and The Witcher 3 is coming to Switch.
Oh, fuck The Witcher!
So you can play a pixelated version of The Witcher 3. We're talking about video games now. I know you don't have a lot to talk about here. No. The only thing we're going to talk about real briefly is that the Switch Lite was announced. So we knew that, at least it was a rumor, that Nintendo was working on a Lite version, which was announced, and a beefier version with higher graphics and blah, 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 blah.
Which we are calling the Switch Lite.
No, so those are the 2 different ones they were going to announce. And what I heard is that they're still going to be working on the beefier version, but it probably won't come out for a couple years still. But the Lite version is going to come out, I think, by holiday this year. And all it is, it's just the Switch. I think it has the same computing power as the regular Switch, but it does not. The Joy-Cons do not come off, so you just get the mobile version.
Doesn't that mean there's functionality? It actually limits the functionality.
There's a handful of games that can't play, but actually, it's not true that they can't play them because you can actually pair other Joy-Cons to it.
Okay, so you can just buy more Joy-Cons.
Yeah, you can.
You can always do that.
Yeah. But no, I just wanted to bring it up and get your input. I guess I think
sounds useless.
Unless
it's like $150 cheaper.
It's $200, and the Switch is $300.
Okay, so it's $100 cheaper.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I think it's good in households where you have a few kids, right? And they all want to play the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's good. And it looks because there's less movable parts, so it doesn't break as easy, so kids can throw it around. I think it's a good idea. I think it's going to end up being a good thing, and I think Rob should buy one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? I don't have kids. No, I have cats.
You can play. You can play the games.
Yeah.
You can play. Yeah, you can play. I mean, they have cat games.
This is really more for an individual rather than it is to share games. This is basically this is the isolationist Nintendo Switch.
And since you're starting a metal travel show, this would be great for plane rides.
Why, you can play it on plane? How does this work?
Yeah, it's mobile. It's a mobile system.
So it's kind of like a Game Boy?
Yeah.
Very much so, yes.
Just
almost identical.
Not black and white. It's
color green.
I mean, you got your Switch like.
No, I mean look at a color screen. Oh yeah, you could. Yeah, that's the Joy-Cons aren't on. Where is my Switch? Oh, it's in my backpack.
Okay. So the whole console. So here's the gimmick.
When is this new
I'm gonna grab it.
game system?
Okay.
When is this new game system released?
In a couple months, I think. I'll double check.
Yeah.
So should not buy anything now.
No, not now. Oh, you're doing it wrong. Those don't go there.
They don't go there?
No, those don't go there.
They look like they go
They
there.
don't do that.
I'll make them go
Don't
there.
do it. You'll break it. these are actually.
I don't know about this Vidya game stuff.
These are actually the kind of annoying.
Can I
part.
play Atari on it? Can I play Pong?
Yeah.
They've ported a lot of games to it.
All right.
Can I just get an emulator?
This is the whole system,
This is the whole system right
Yeah.
here.
and it's pretty powerful. It's a pretty powerful system.
This looks like if you dropped it, it would be bad news.
Probably
So
not.
you got a little tripod thing there.
That's a kickstand.
So can I watch my pornographies on here?
I don't know.
I don't think so, actually, because you get
If you do that
the
on
best
the
you
plane,
can-
But
probably
what
wouldn't
you can
be good
do,
anyway.
best you
so
get
when
is
you
YouTube.
when you have that out there, so these come off.
I was just kidding about watching pornography.
And
on
that's
here.
what this is. There's nothing wrong with pornography.
Just where kids can see it.
Children shouldn't watch it,
Mm.
but you know.
So yeah, so you can pop up your little kickstand there, and then you got your. So he put that on there, so you can actually have two people. You have like a person next to you on the plane. You give him one of these.
You should definitely give strangers your Joy-Cons.
Yeah, absolutely. Have them touch your Joy-Cons.
Yeah, so what that does is it adds the shoulder buttons.
Yeah, so you can play.
There you go, video games.
Yeah, video games.
Right there, boom.
Yeah,
Yeah, see, look how much fun you're already having.
it's not even
Nintendo
on.
Lite.
Yeah. I was trying to work in a flying LSU Tiger into the. But I don't know how you do that for excitement.
That is the most inside of jokes I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Either way, ladies and gentlemen,
LSU!
I think that's just about all the time that we have
I
today.
think all the LSU Tigers are flooded right now.
Aw, that's
Aw,
Because of Barry.
fucking Barry.
our heart goes out to any of the victims of Hurricane Barry. But in the meantime, this has been the WarPod. Thanks for bringing it way down right there at the end, Robb Zipp, and thank you for being on the show. What?
I'll give myself a round of applause. Yes.
Links,
Thank me.
links in the description for all of Rob's stuff.
Yeah, just I'm at Robb Zipp everywhere, and then that'll take you to all my other things.
And of course, no matter how you are watching us, be it on Twitch or YouTube or Facebook, there's always a way to like, comment, and subscribe. So please do so.
We're on Twitch.
We're on Twitch.
We're on-
Oh, I gotta play the video games.